happening. I see y'all coming in on at 1 o'clock on a Friday. It means one thing and one thing only. Crucible TV. That's right, Crucible TV. And we are in week number 4. Week number 4 of our Foundations program, our Foundations series, where we're talking about the foundations of everything you need to have, not just to have a great year, but what are the foundational elements to make sure that you have a great life. I think that's one of those things that we all want to have. We all desire. We all want to have a great life, right? We say that. We always say, hey, I want to have a great life. I want to have a better life, but a successful life, a fulfilled, all these things. But what is the foundation on which we are building all of those things? We can't just hope that life is going to happen. I believe, and we believe, there is a very specific way that you can go about making that happen. There's a way to make that happen. So we are talking about the foundations. Gorilla Mike, I see you hopping in here. So that is what we are doing today. Now today, like I said, we're in week 4. We're in week 4. We talked about physically.
We talked big names.
We talked about mentally. We talked about emotions. Now today we are talking about the foundations for a great relationship. Relationships are key. We are designed as social humans, as people, as social beings. We are designed to have relationships. We need relationships in our life to be able to get to the heights that we want to go.
It's a necessity.
It is a necessity. It is something that we must have. But unfortunately, relationships, and I think 2021, 2020, right, maybe even part of 2022, relationships have been severed. It's been harder to create and build and form and keep great relationships because so many of the foundational elements of what a relationship requires have been taken away. So we're going to talk about what we think the foundational elements of a great relationship are, and maybe it'll help your relationships. Hopefully you take something away from this today and say, you know what, I can use that. Maybe one thing, there's 3 things that we have, but maybe you just take one thing today and say, that's going to help me in my relationship with my parents, or my boyfriend, or my girlfriend, or myself, or whatever that thing is. So that's what we're going to dive into today. Nathan Ramsey, I see you. Nick Tucker, we got them all coming in.
And guys, I think this is just really exciting because we came in and we started talking about we want to set the foundation of a successful life. Well, I'll tell you what, if you have successful relationships, whether it's with yourself, with your family, with your friends, with people you work with, you're probably going to have a successful life, you know? And so this is a real critical one here, and I think it's going to give you a competitive edge. So it's going to be good.
Let's get into what's happening, my man. I see you. Dream Plan Duke 21. There we go. So here we go. Number one. First realization maybe about foundations of a great relationship. Who you surround yourself with matters. The relationships you have are powerful. The relationships, who you surround yourself with, who you decide to have relationships with matters. And that doesn't mean just boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. No, who you align yourself with in business, who you have as a mentor, who you have as a gym partner, who you have as a nutritional responsibility, accountability partner, who you surround yourself with as a coach, or who your different athletes are on your team. The relationships you have matter. There was a wise philosopher that once said, you hang out with yo-yos, you get yo-yo friends.
Is that Rocky?
That was Rocky. Wise philosopher Rocky Balboa.
Right.
But it's true. You become who you hang around with most, right? If you show me a list of your top 5 people, I'm going to get a pretty good idea of what's happening in your life. If you're hanging out with a bunch of people that are not motivated, aren't driven, are hitting the snooze button quite a bit, they maybe aren't working out or don't have any sort of dream or plan of what they're wanting to do, you know what? I'm gonna bet and maybe take an educated guess that that's not who you are as well. Now, on the opposite end, if I look at who you're hanging out with and you're hanging out with somebody who runs 4 or 5 different businesses, or somebody who is a monster in the gym, or is maybe shredded it, like they got the 6-pack, or like, if you're hanging out with those kinds of people, I'm gonna say, I bet your discipline's pretty high. I bet you're making really great decisions when it comes to finances and things like that, right? All those like little things, those success indicators, right? Who you surround yourself with matters. It matters based on what they're going to pour into you. It matters in what's being poured into you from just a relationship, like just the stinking thinking, maybe, right? If you're hanging around somebody that's pouring
Constantly
out
negative,
Yeah.
and is and that's a big thing too. If you're hanging around with somebody who's pretty negative, then that could impact you and make you negative, you know. And
I like what Gorilla Mike said. He said, "Who you watch every Friday at lunch."
I want to hang around with Gorilla Mike. That's
right,
who
baby.
I want to surround myself with. I tell you what. But I look at a lot of it too. Is you know, who are the teammates that you're surrounding yourself with, and be the teammate that you want to have. Be that guy. You know, it's not just who you surround yourself with. Make sure that you're doing that part on your end too.
That's so
you
true.
know,
so that absolutely. And Mike brings up a good point. The relationships you have aren't necessarily all in-person relationships, right? We have a relationship with music.
That's right.
We have a relationship with food. We have a relationship with what we're consuming and
you're
watching,
watching.
whether it be television, whether it be a Facebook Live or Instagram Live, whether it's just YouTube or Spotify or whatever it is. What you put around yourself and that relationship, it's going to have an influence. It's going to have an influence. If you're around things that are challenging you to think, if you're around things and people that are going to challenge you to dig deeper into yourself, that aren't just going to always tell you, hey, good job, that's great, wonderful. Like, we need that at times. But some of the best friends we can have, the best mentors we can have, the best coaches that we can have are the ones that say, hey, that ain't right. You're going off the guardrails. You're going over the guardrails. Hold up. Stop. Don't do that.
They tell you what you need to hear.
They tell you what you need to hear. So, who you surround yourself, I want you to think about that. Challenge yourself today. Write down. Maybe that's the exercise you take today. Who are the top 5 people you hang around most?
And I think a realization too is who are the top 5 people you hang around the most. And the reason why you need to do this is, as human beings, as people, we are extremely easily influenced a lot of times, you know. And if you're surrounding yourself with people who are negative and who aren't making the greatest choices, it's a scary trap to because it becomes easy. It becomes easy, you know. In a way, I know it sounds goofy, but Rocky was right. If you do surround yourself with yo-yo people, you'll find yourself making yo-yo decisions.
And I'm using people as it could be podcasts. It could be the music. It's not just in person. Because again, if you're hanging out with this guy and then on the drive home, you're just listening to just head trash coming in and just nastiness, I'm going to count that as an influence in your life. What influences are pouring into your life consistently? What are the top 5 influences that are pouring in?
And think about this too, because I know we're talking about this point a lot, is I can hang around great people, but then I can listen to garbage on a bad podcast on the way home. That's like pairing good quality nutrition with a whole pie of pizza. That's right. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get the most out of that good nutrition that I'm getting in because I'm deflecting it with garbage, you know. So there's physical nutrition, but there's that mental nutrition too.
That's right. Relationships. Who you surround yourself with matters. Number two, realization, and I think this is a foundational element. If you want to have a great relationship with somebody, it could be a spouse, it could be a teammate, it could be a social media influencer that you want to connect with. Let's say that's crazy, right? Look to serve first. Look to serve first. I can't think of a single relationship that I've ever had that has started off really, really well with either somebody just wanting something from me or me just trying to take something from somebody else. Except for maybe my parents, because I was a little baby and they had no other choice. All I had to do. But the relationship was built because they looked to serve me. They were taking care of me, right? A great relationship is going to be best built upon a foundation of service, on a foundation of giving. If you first look to give, you will then receive. But if you go into something looking to say, hey, what can I extract from you? People's defenses are going to come up. They're going to raise up. It's going to be hard, right? I don't know the right word to say, but it is not going to be as effective as if you are trying to break open a new relationship and say, hey, I know that this thing is eating you up. Let's say you're an employee. You're an employee and you're trying to get a promotion or you're trying to do this thing. I want you to go to your boss and not just ask for more money, not just ask, can I get a raise or a promotion or a better cubicle or whatever it is. I don't want you to do that. No, I want you to go to him and say, what is your biggest torment? And I'm going to torment that. What is your biggest stress? And I'm going to become a demon to that stress. I'm going to take care of that stress. It's cleaning the bathrooms. Boom, I got you, right? Look to serve. Look to serve first, to give first, and then the giving, the reciprocal will happen.
And I don't think it has to just be at work too. I mean, could you imagine? I mean, think about it, maybe it's you have a friend that's like, man, like if you're wondering, it's like, how can I connect with them right now? They're kind of tough to connect with. What if you were to just go ask them, what can I do to serve you today, man? What can I do to help you? And that's a good challenge right there.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's pretty great, Coach. That's good.
I like what Nick Tucker said right here. Lions don't surround themselves with sheep. Amen. They go eat.
That's right.
We like to eat. Here we go. We're creatures of our habits and environment. We have to surround ourselves with people with the same goal or drive or any source of positivity, make us the best version of ourselves. Hey, and I'm going to even challenge that. I like that Nick Tucker guy. I want to surround myself with people who are doing even better than what I'm doing, right? Because I want to achieve whatever it is. I want that rising tide, right, raises all ships, right? I want to get my ship around a tide that is high, right? So absolutely, if we surround ourselves with some fire-breathing dragons, let's go. It's only going to make things better. So that's right. I like that, Nick. Let's do it. So there we go. Number one, realizing that who you surround yourself with matters, just like Nick was saying. Number two, a great foundation of any relationship. This can be your spouse, teammates, whatever. Giving, right? Giving service as the foundation. And then number three, this is a good realization, and this can be a hard one, especially for high schoolers going to college graduating. This is one that a lot of people, it really affects and is hard on people, but I want you to realize that it's okay. That relationships can change. Relationships can change. The person that was in your life for a very specific time, maybe your bestie all through high school, maybe that was their purpose, was to be your bestie through high school, or maybe your bestie through college. Just because they were your bestie in high school doesn't need to mean they need to be your bestie in your professional career. If they're not doing what you're trying to do, if they're settling here and you're saying, oh, I don't want to settle for average, I don't want to settle for ordinary, I want to do something up here, well, it's going to be hard, but you need to find friends that are going to not allow you to settle, right? That's just kind of the nature of it. And that is okay. It doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you're better than they are in any. It just means that relationship isn't helping you become the person you were designed to be, isn't helping you become that person, right? And that can be a hard one because we get so attached to our childhood friends.
We get attached and emotions get involved too, which is a big piece. But think about this. We were all designed to move with purpose, right? We were all designed to move with purpose. And you got to ask yourself, right, are certain relationships helping me move with a purpose? Are they helping me get to where I need to be? And you never want to forget somebody. You never want to, that's not what I think we're trying to say. That's definitely not what we're trying to say at all. But don't think that you need to force something that's not there anymore. And don't feel bad about that either. Don't feel bad, don't feel sad about that. And it's not just people, right? Think about this. We talk about certain seasons, and maybe I'm in a muscle building season. So my relationship with my nutrition is going to be different if I was in a cutting season, right? And it's that thing. It's that kind of thing too. So. And a lot of it's embracing the season that you're in, because right now maybe you're taking a break from that relationship with your bestie, right? But then you're gonna come back and maybe connect with them later on, and during that time away from them, you grew in certain ways to be even a better bestie for them. You know what I mean? There's a process to it. There's a journey to it, and when you start to attack it with that kind of excitement and kind of that growth mindset and that perspective, it really doesn't feel like it does at front, where it can be kind of emotional and things like that.
Good stuff, Jesse. So there you have it. Our foundations for great relationships. Realizing that who you surround yourself with matters. If you're wanting to be your best, you need to surround yourself with great people that are helping you become the person you're designed to be, challenging you, not just saying, okay, good job, everybody gets a trophy. No, don't surround yourself with those people. Surround yourself with people that are going to challenge you and push you to be your best. And number two, that we need to be looking to serve first, not to get first. And I know that's the kind of the nature of the world right now. Like, I need to get, and I need it quick, and I need it easy, and it's got to, nope, look to serve first. Look to serve. I know that's a bad word these days. Look to serve and to give. And then number three, that relationships can change, and they will change. And that is an okay thing. So there we have it. Crucible TV is done for Friday. Be sure to come back next week. Week 5. We got 2 more weeks, guys. We got 2 more weeks of this goodness on the foundations. Hopefully you're taking notes on your smartphones, your dumb phones, actual pen and paper, whatever you got, guys. Hopefully you guys are ready to rock. We love you. Can't wait to see you next week. And hopefully you take a little bit of some good notes on this and start implementing some of this stuff. So, guys, we love you. Have an amazing day.
So much love, guys.
God bless y'all.